preliminary data. Again, our model is based off of hospitalization rates. By the way, why have we done that versus, say, infection rate? Because we know with certainty how many people are in the hospital. We know that. We don't really know the infection rate because we don't really know exactly how many people have this. We definitely know how many people are in the hospital. But we have very limited data on what the hospitalization rate is like since we put in the stay-at-home order. So, although that's like the Mercedes-Benz of models, we put so much effort into it and so many brilliant people around it, it's only as good as the assumptions and the data. We have limited data. And again, the final key point is the single biggest variable is the effectiveness of social distancing. That's not all that matters, but that's the biggest variable. So the real takeaway, if you remember nothing else from today, social distancing is working, social distancing is saving lives, and if you hang in there for a couple more weeks, we will be in a much, much, much better place because of social distancing, because of all your effort. I think of what we're doing here as a race, right? So when I say we're planning for the worst and working for the best, it's a race. We're in a race against this virus, a race to put a lid on the virus while we're racing as hard as we can to ready our healthcare system for a surge. And the race that we've been running is getting up testing capacity, purchasing PPE, buying ventilators, adding extra hospital beds, getting folks to figuring out ways to staff these extra hospitals. That's the race we've been running. And I will tell you, when we start to reopen the economy, you're going to see those numbers go up. It's going to happen. Social distancing is what's saving us. That can't be that way forever. But when we start to reopen, and if the numbers go up, we have the hospital beds, we have the testing, we have a lot more information, we're that much closer to treatment, we have more PPE, et cetera, et cetera. So to that point, I want to wrap up this by saying, if you are a healthcare professional who is not working full-time, if you're a part-time worker, a recent graduate, a soon-to-graduate nursing school, a resident, a medical student, a retired physician, a retired therapist, a retired nurse, please go to riresponds.org and sign up and let us know you're willing to help, because it is almost certain that we're going to need extra people to staff beds as we go in the months to come. So that's what we have for modeling, and in a couple of weeks I'll provide another update. Next topic is school. Many of you are probably wondering what's going on with school, and I had hoped to be able to make an announcement this week. You do know, or I will remind you, that we've committed to distance learning through the end of April. I had hoped to be able to make an announcement this week giving guidance for the rest of the school year. But I'm going to hold off on that until probably next week. And I'm sorry that that's frustrating, because I know everybody wants to plan. But I'm going to be very honest with you. This is a huge decision. This is a huge decision. Not only are we talking about 142,000 school kids and all of the teachers and custodians and folks that work in the buildings, but it's also childcare. You know, it's very, very difficult for people to work if schools are closed, particularly for young children, and they don't have childcare. So it weighs on me, and I want to get it right, or I want to do the best job I can to get it right. This model shows, and I track it constantly every day, things are changing. As I said, we're in a much better position today than we were a week ago. If everyone keeps doing a great job, I think we'll be in a better position in a week than we are now, in 2 weeks than we are now. So I wish I had an answer today. I'm sorry if that's frustrating for educators and parents, but I need a little more time to look at the evidence, to look at the facts. I am not willing to throw in the towel yet and say school's out for the rest of the year. I'm just not there yet. I don't know that that will be necessary, and I don't know that that's the right thing to do for Rhode Island, for all of Rhode Islanders, parents, kids, educators. So I'm going to hold steady right now for where we are. Distance learning till the end of April. I'll be back next week with more guidance. Because I'm not, as I say, I'm not ready to throw in the towel. I will say this. I get daily reports on distance learning, and you're doing a fantastic job. I've been talking to principals, educators, I had a call with superintendents, parents, I've been talking to parents. This isn't easy. I'm not going to pretend it's easy. There are many, many parents who are working from home and trying to educate their kids or help them get educated at home. Thank you. You are really heroes out there. Teachers are stretching the limits of their creativity. Same with principals and superintendents. But the fact is you're doing a fantastic job. Attendance rates are up, engagement rates are up, and children are learning. Right now, there's nearly a dozen states who have said no school for the rest of the year. There are many states that haven't even tried with distance learning. You're doing it, and you're doing a heck of a good job, and I'm incredibly proud of you. You deserve more guidance. You deserve an opportunity to plan for the long run, and I'm asking you for another week or so before I can give you that guidance. One of the obviously most horrible parts about dealing with this virus is that too many people are out of work. It was a necessary response, and one that is taking a toll on Americans all across the country. Here in Rhode Island, that is also true. We have about 160,000 Rhode Islanders who have filed for unemployment since this began. And to those of you, and there are many of you who are struggling financially, I want you to know we are doing everything we know how to do, everything we can do to support you financially. And we're going to continue to come up with additional ways to help you. More loan programs for small businesses, more tech support for small businesses, better benefits for folks, or quicker access to benefits for folks who are unemployed. For those of you who still have your jobs, I need you to be brave. I need you to be brave and go. If you have to go to work, go to work. I'm not saying it's easy. I know you're nervous. I know you're anxious. If you're a healthcare worker, that is triply so. But we need to be brave together. And if you are on the front lines, or you're one of us who goes to work, people are relying on you, and I need you to continue to go to work. And we need to continue to work hard to make sure if you are in the healthcare field, you have the proper protections that you need so that you can be safe. Even though we have 160,000 people out of work, there are many companies who are, believe it or not, struggling to find employees. And a lot of that is because people are afraid to go to work, which is why I'm asking you to be brave. Right now, there are nearly 2,000 openings in Rhode Island for jobs that are critical in our fight against the virus. Healthcare jobs, grocery store jobs, pharmacy jobs, manufacturing jobs, and more. So, in an effort to match up some of the people who are unemployed with the 2,000 job openings, we've created a partnership between the Department of Labor and Training and Skills for Rhode Island's Future and the Commerce Department. And as of today, we've launched a state job-seeking platform to help connect Rhode Islanders with these positions. So as of today, if you're looking for a job, or if you're an employer struggling to fill your open positions, I want you to go to employri.org. employri.org.